Yes, we are on. Well, hello, folks. Thank you for joining us today. The gentleman you see before me, this handsome devil who's just survived the surgery, is
Dr. Marc. Howdy, folks.
And
This is Dr. Elmer.
Well, not quite doctor, okay.
Mr. Elmer, but
Elmer, and we are.
Oh, that's right. What are we called now? It's been a while.
Humpty and Dumpty? Tweedledee, Tweedledee. No, it's not Tweedledee.
It's
Dumb Dumber?
yeah.
No. We're Marc and
Elmer's
PSI
Piano
Scene
Scene
Investigation. Yes, and that was our almost hopeless attempt at comedy there.
Well, because the last one we put up was, I think, June 4th was the last one that's been up.
Okay.
And we did a recording on the 19th, but the week after that is when I went and had my surgery.
Yeah.
So we've been a little, we've been a little bit less because, busy and things this year, but particularly this summer, it's because of me, because I'm just coming out of it. I'll give my update right away first.
Sure.
I had my meeting with the surgeon on Monday. It's the first time I saw him since we went in under the knife 6 weeks before. And he moved it all around and stuff. He said, actually, that the healing was looking really good. And he said, even better than average.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of certain things I've been taking and using and stuff. Really good product. But, and be careful, not stupid. But I'm allowed to, move it and use it. I'm still kind of wearing the slings out in public because the biggest thing is if you trip or fall or bump into something, your tendency is to, which is how I did this in the first place.
Yeah. When
I fell down the stairs, throw your arms out, wham,
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I got therapy with my wonderful therapist, Joseph Jones, at NovaCare Rehabilitation. I've been there twice before for some different things. I'm going to start next Wednesday with him. And I'm really excited about finally really getting back to piano. Elmer?
Yeah.
Yesterday I had to break in some of my teaching for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's this time of year, some of the kids are going on vacation and stuff.
Right.
So I had a little time, and I took my Wilhelm Kempf Bach transcriptions with me. I played 5 or 6 Bach transcriptions in the studio yesterday. That's the first time I've really played the piano in any length since before January this year. Yeah. Because I've been doing physical therapy and stuff to get things moving after the fall. And I just didn't have lateral range and downward movement and stuff like that. And I really missed the piano. Because I started when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
I'm 63, so I've been at it for 58 years.
Wow.
And this is the longest I've ever gone without touching the keys nearly every single day. So it brought me a great deal of joy, and I just feel so excited about being able to get back to things. And there's tons of music that I want to play, and I've been thinking about things, scheming on how to get it all done. Because, as I told you my age, I don't have limitless decades left. So there's things that I want to play, at least for my own satisfaction, get them learned that I can sit and play. I mastered that. Whether or not I perform them all, but so there's a lot on my plate to get done.
So you sit your butt down on the bench and you start playing the piano. The first thing you want to play is Kempf transcriptions of Bach.
Yeah. And it was interesting because playing, maybe it's like you have a little bit of a stroke and you can just kind of learn how to get it back together again. Wasn't that bad. But coordinating was just a little weird. And if anything, because I was a little cautious with my hand, but my tone was still there pretty much. I could still make it sing. And I think it'll come back pretty fast, Okay. You see that right there? You want to show them that?
With the Yeti?
Yeah. Show them that. So I've got a thought, and this is, I mean, we're doing our show. I love doing this show with Elmer, but I thought in terms of performing, I think I'm going to start doing some online YouTube recordings here at the house on my piano. Yeah, go ahead. So I just got that recently because it was on a very good price during their electronics sale.
Yeah.
In July, you know, their mid-year Christmas kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was down, I think, I forget how much this thing cost, but I paid, I don't even think it was $100.
Or was it?
And Mike Blaha, who appears, he's the clarinetist that I play with, appears in 2 or 3 of those videos that Rudy did, concerts for the Minor Corps back in the COVID year. He had one of these things, because I have a digital hybrid grand piano. It's a Casio, but the action itself is designed by Bechstein, and it samples 3 European concert grands, as well as a couple of organs and harpsichord stuff. And it plays really, truly like a real piano. It sounds like it. I mean, it's amazing. I like to tell people I've got $750,000 in my living room, but I only had to pay $6,500 for it. But it has an internal recording mechanism you can do through a USB flash drive, and it works really quite well. But, you know, when you do video and audio, like with the camera, because I like to do that, that doesn't come out well. And so what Rudy and Mike did together was they recorded internally, and then Mike had this thing hooked up and recorded on it, and then Rudy just synced the tracks together and then fit them to the video, so it all seemed to be fine. Wow. Because, you know, sometimes, I mean, with we don't have fancy machine there, but the sound is not great for, pianos are real monsters to record anyway. But then you get this lag thing between the video and the sound. Yeah. But you don't see that at all when Rudy did it. And he said he'd coach me a little bit to do it. But I just figured, you know, sometime when I'm ready and I get stuff ready, I can just flip it on and do, you know, Dr. Marc at the piano thing. And instead of worrying about, you know, getting a concert time at Graves, which I intend to do. Okay. But, you know, just whenever I get something ready and I feel good about it, I talk a little bit about it and then play it and put it up. So that's kind of one of my plans. Also a means and a challenge then also to get, you know, myself back in the repertoire and doing stuff. So that's one of my relatively near future plans. And I also contacted Mike Blaha, B-L-A-H-A. He's a graduate from OSU, and he works now for the federal government in one of those jobs that if he tells you what he does, he has to kill you kind of thing. Oh, but he's got a great sense of humor. He's a wonderful guy. He's the grandson of a dear friend of mine, Renee Blaha, who's a doctor. He's a wonderful musician, clarinetist, beautiful feeling for music and stuff. I love working with him, and we got plans. That may be my first public appearance when I get back on the piano again, is to do a chamber concert with Mike with clarinet. Cool. I love the repertoire. I love chamber music. So. Wow. And then I figured, you know, with all this solo stuff, I'll get some things together. But you know how I am. There's so much repertoire I want to do. I don't want to wait to get it into a concert hall, and then you can only play so much, right? Yeah. So when I get stuff prepared and I feel good about it and everything, I'm just going to record it and put it out there. Okay. You know, sounds good. How it goes. But I mean, there's nothing new about that. Everybody's been doing that, especially since COVID. Oh yeah. Remember, was it Igor Levit? Igor Levit, the Russian Jewish guy in Berlin. Did that Sati, which lasted how many hours? I have absolutely no. And somebody else take over a couple times at least. Yeah. Now in my case, they would have to take over about every 3 hours. Exactly. Yeah. So you got to do your promo. Oh yeah, that's right. So, anyways, we have our unofficial promo here. Yeah, here we go. I don't know. Okay, well. Oh, he's doing the mime thing. Yeah, it sounds worky, just so you know.
There we go.
Good for you.
Yeah.
He's so creative with this stuff.
Marcel.
These guys are going to miss out if they don't pay this boy to promote their product.
Yeah. And anyway,
whoa! We got
look
another.
what I have here.
Whoa.
The other option. We talked about this before,
Yeah.
or at least you did. This is lemon oil.
The real thing.
The real thing. It came in this plastic bottle. And if you live in Westerville or Columbus, you can go to Roush Hardware on State and Schrock. Or is it just Schrock?
Yeah, it is Schrock.
It's Schrock.
Well, no,
yeah.
technically they face State Street.
Yeah. State and Schrock. Sorry.
Yeah.
State Street and Schrock.
Road.
That's where I got it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Roush is a classic, great old hardware store.
Yeah. And that's what it looks like. Came in this bottle. And wouldn't you know it, it's a lot popular than I thought it was. This was the last bottle on the shelf.
Wow.
So apparently, yeah.
My dad used to always recommend people do olive or lemon oil on their pianos.
Yeah.
And he'd occasionally rub ours down with Rummel, and the music room smelled so incredible. I don't like to eat lemon products, but I like the smell of it on our piano. It was really quite nice.
Anyways, I'd say this is a pretty good start to the program since we haven't seen each other for a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
So, but anyways, I like to also say to our viewers, if you like us, if you like our conversations, if you like our personalities, please comment, like, and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. And if you are born today, August the 7th, 2025, you have the same birthday as Henri Charles Litolff.
Oh, Litolff.
Yes, born in 1818, English. In some books, it says he's a French composer.
Yeah.
They're sort of divided now. Some of them said English, some of them say French.
But he was born in England?
But he's born in England.
He lived in France?
He may have. I mean, that was, during the time, the music center of the world.
People went to Europe.
So, but anyways, yeah, he was a good friend of Franz Liszt. And, boy, some quite touching stories.
Yeah.
They met each other in Paris, and then they didn't see each other again for about 35 years.
Wow.
And when they did, they were elderly men, and Litolff's comment was, my, how we have changed. And Liszt's response was, yes, we are even more beautiful. And they hugged each other and everything. But incidentally, the caliber of this composer pianist cannot be denied. Liszt's first piano concerto is dedicated to this man. So it's...
I've got some of his music.
Litolff?
I mean, there's stuff on IMSLP.
Yeah.
But no, I got some old books, that's got like European old music stuff in it. And there's some Litolff in there. He wrote stuff like etudes.
Oh yeah, he did. He wrote lots of solo music. But apparently this clear fame still exists today in the form of that scherzo movement from this fourth concerto symphonique or symphonic concerto. So he wrote 4 of them. But if you actually find any performances today, live or on recording, it's probably the scherzo movement from that work.
He must have been. I mean, I always thought with the name he had to have been a Ruski.
Yeah, I thought he was too.
With a name like that.
Yeah.
And then he spelled it Henry with an I, right?
With an I.
Henri.
Yeah. Henri.
So I wonder if we'll look him up. Maybe I'll find a little bit more and post it on the page.
Yeah, we could make
because he might have been one of those that. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, from the post-Napoleonic period until, the mid 19th century, Paris was the place to be. Yeah, that was it. And in certain ways, it kind of stayed that way all the way through the First World War, even in the 20s. But yeah, it was. I mean, everybody was there. Liszt was there. Chopin was there. Yeah. Kalkbrenner. I just read recently that Chopin said really nice things about him.
Yeah, I know.
Said he really liked the even playing style and everything. The man had a real gift.
Yeah.
He's the one that told Chopin, "You come and study with me for 6 months, and I'll turn you into a real pianist."
Yeah. So, well, wherever Litolff's from, apparently the English, feel that he's English. He's come to be known by musicologists as the English list. So
wow.
It doesn't get better than that.
Wow.
Now, also,
that was Leslie Howard.
That could
Isn't
be
he the English list now?
Well, he is. He's apparently he's the president of the List Society now.
Is he still?
So I think he still is. So, also born on today, I've never heard of this individual. His name is Karl Husa, H-U-S.
Karl Husa.
You've heard of him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Born 1921. He is Czech-born American, composer, conductor.
Yep.
So
I think he immigrated to the United States, actually. Karl Husa did.
Well, it says Czech-born.
Yeah, he's from Europe, but I think he immigrated. But I associate him with more as a conductor, but then he wrote music for concert bands and stuff too.
Did not know that.
Yeah.
Wow. So did you find this information in a textbook or just perusing?
Yeah, no, I just know from somewhere. Yeah, I mean perusing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometime in the past.
Okay, well.
It's good to know this little thing still works, because
yeah.
I was taking some mighty powerful drugs for a few days after the surgery, and I was starting to think, I think I'm getting dementia.
I did play a trick on him. I sent you that picture of a composer, and I said, "Guess who this is?"
Yeah.
His reply was, "Oh, come on, I'm not that high." And I did alter the picture a little bit to make it look like the same person. It was funny, though. But anyways, so apparently we have some stuff here. Lots of what we've been, and I say this almost every other episode. Come back and find out what we're reading, what we're listening to, what we've been practicing, what we've been playing. But
well, I have a wish list with Amazon. Some things go back for a number of years, and I wait for the prices, to sometimes come down. Then sometimes I wait too long, because at one point I could have gotten like a complete collection of Guillermo Novaes for less than $20.
Wow!
And I didn't do it. Not a big box, but
good
a few CDs. And now it's like back up to 40 or something like that.
So we're going into a segment.
So you want to do the segment?
Yeah.
Is this
High Plains?
Is this High Plains Thrifter?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. From the bowels of. I should do it. Okay. All right. From the bowels of undiscovered territories and parts unknown.
Be you.
Only to be investigated by the most intrepid of knowledge seekers. I introduce to all viewers, young and old, to PSI's.
Get him, Uncle Elmer! Get him! Get him, Uncle Elmer!
High Plains Thrifter. So, viewers, young and old, I welcome you to PSI's High Plains Thrifter.
Hey, everybody. Did you bring stuff too?
I did bring stuff too.
Okay.
It'll be interesting.
Well, so I found some pretty good prices really on a bunch of things. And things that I'm interested in. And I've got a pretty big collection now after a time. When I was a professor in Cyprus, I had a good, tall cabinet of CDs.
Yeah.
But I was in a country which was, it's in Europe, but, smaller and not super wealthy. And wonderful attempts with the people in the country to educate their youth and get them out there. I sent one of my piano students who went into a master's degree in Belgium. And we had a few singers that went to Turkey to study both popular and some classical music professionally. They did well. They got active professions. But the resources, one might say, were not comparable to an American university or even a European university. So I kind of set it on myself just to build up my CD collection with, literally all the repertoire of the big composers. So I got those big, brilliant classic boxes of Mozart, Haydn, and I think the Beethoven might be from them as well, but it's a complete Beethoven thing, and Bach, that, and a lot of stuff. And then I just kept getting things because I could. It was fun. And anyway, I have a huge collection now. But now, as we've said before in previous shows, I'm more interested in the interpreters.
Yes.
Because I pretty much, I've got, I mean, like, I think is it the Bach recording? There's a lot of Dutch musicians that did a lot of that stuff.
Oh,
in the complete Bach, like cantatas and things.
Yeah.
They're really good artists, and such like, me and Elmer were good. We're not necessarily world class.
Yeah.
I mean, like way up there kind of thing.
Yeah.
But, we do a good job. Like most of the musicians we're talking about on that iceberg.
Yeah.
We're lucky if we're just like at the water level or
we're just
hanging on the bottom. But
moisture.
So I've been exploring undiscovered territories, More recently, it's been sometime the first year that we did the show. Mm-hmm. We were talking about the French school of piano playing that started back in the 19th century. I mean, Saint-Saëns was an early product of that, for example, or representative. And then all those different pianists that came through. And fortunately, recordings have been discovered and remastered and reissued. So you can hear those people. And if you know your piano playing, you can hear that there was something different about it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, anyway, that's some of what I got here that I want to talk about. But the first thing is, I was on a Busoni kick for a while looking at stuff, and I have Guinar's Performance.
Oh.
And I have a couple others I discovered. And I thought, oh, here's John Ogden, which is a very famous recording.
Yes, it is.
And I think it was pretty cheap, actually. I probably got it for $5 or so. And it's for you. Because you said you don't have it. Because I have a copy. Turns out after I bought it,
you're kidding.
I was looking in my library and it was right there on the shelf. So that's for you.
Well, thank you,
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
Thank you. Here, let me show the fans.
Okay.
Here it is. If some of you are not familiar with this recording, whenever the topic of the Busoni Piano Concerto comes up, John Ogden's name usually goes with it. Yes, what a powerful pianist.
So, you and I have talked about Marston Records.
Yes, we have.
We're big fans of it, and we're both members of the Piano Club.
Yep.
They manufacture both keyboard artists, but specifically it's pianists, and then singers, opera singers, and opera performances and such. And he does amazing things.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's pulling the voices of these instrumentalists and singers out of the past in an extraordinary way where he maintains the quality and the depth of the sound, but is able to, without, diminishing things in certain ways, when you use filters and stuff, just gets the scratches and the stuff out of it. And sometimes he opts to leave it in because the quality of the sound is good. I mean, we don't mind the because the interesting thing is in the old acoustic recordings, that was them. That was the instruments, that was the voice, that was the piano.
Pretty much.
Because it wasn't electronically filtered or modified in any kind of way. Well, anyway, I discovered, I've known about these APR, which I forget what that stands for. Appian Publications and Recordings. It was based out of London. But guess who the sound engineer was for this stuff? Recording
Marston?
Ward
Marston?
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently he's gone off now with his part, Scott Kelly, I think it is.
Yeah.
And they run their own thing called Marston Records.
Yeah.
And I think that's based out of Pennsylvania now. But anyway,
yeah.
I have wanted this for a while, and the price fluctuated and so forth. I'm going to just show them, give them to you all at once. To show them these ones. These are all APR recordings, and there's a lot of interesting stuff. Some of the artists, you won't know their names, and then some of them are incredibly famous historically. But they're always interesting and always remarkable. And I think what he's going for is the idea, like what we do with our show, is things that could get lost in time and history. That, and what we try to do in various ways is keep those memories, keep those sounds, keep those people in mind, and in heart, so that what they did, because there's only so much room on the top of the iceberg, and then that's a temporal thing, not 50 years, and then no matter how famous you are, you're gone. You slide somehow down under the water. So anyway, this is the complete recordings of Moritz Rosenthal.
Oh God!
Now, listen to some of them. Now I already have a little bit of his stuff, but this is
the complete.
This is everything that the man ever recorded, and it's interesting. He was a student of Franz Liszt.
Franz Liszt, yes.
He also studied with Carl Mikuli for a while, who was a student of Chopin's.
Yeah.
And there's some true things about him in that. I mean, he was an amazing technician, right?
Oh yeah.
Beautiful sound, really, and you can even tell. And then people talked about because the unfortunate thing is he only started to record later in life. He was probably in his 60s when he went at it. But he's one of those guys, that's so well trained that people said even up to about 80, which is about the time that he was last performed. They said he didn't have the same verve that he did,
No, he didn't.
20, 30, 40, 50 years earlier. But they said the sound was just incomparable. That's like that recording of Horowitz in Moscow. He's not playing. I mean, he does play some biggish works. But the mastery and the sound and the control. There's that wonderful video of Martha Argerich with a couple of colleagues. And they're listening to the Horowitz performance in Horowitz. It's just unbelievable.
Everybody stops talking whenever they hear a recording. Incidentally, about Moritz Rosenthal, let me show this to the viewers here real quick. It's a beautiful box. This is from APR? APR.
And it has, these things have nice booklets in them, if they're in boxes. Notes.
Harold C. Schoenberg says that, he was quite the thunderer, force of nature in his younger years. And eventually, the thunder sort of dies down. And so he felt the need to refine his technique a little bit more. So now you have these recordings in his later years. So particularly what is it, Moi Joie?
Meine Freude.
Meine Freude? Okay,
The Chopin Liszt transcription, actually years ago, I don't know how it was, but I heard his recording of it. And I was looking at the time at Liszt song transcriptions. And I was inspired to learn some. Well, I kind of read and learned most of the Chopin ones. There's only two of them that I performed, but the one that I really took over was the Meine Freude in Polish, Moje Pożątki. But it was his extra flourish kind of stuff that he does with it that I wouldn't say I imitated, but it inspired me to do similar things. And so when I did that concert on the Horowitz concert grand, that was the last piece I played, was the My Joys. And it's inspired by Moritz Rosenthal's performance.
Schoenberg comments about the variety of tone and touch when you listen to that.
It's incredibly light, super finesse kind of stuff. Amazing. And then I got, this is another APR.
Another APR.
This may include, I think it does the same stuff that when you loaned me the recording, which that was a Pearl or something, wasn't it?
It may have been Pearl.
What is yours? Well, it's Olga Samaroff.
Oh, it is? Okay.
And the British pianist Frank LaForge.
Oh,
so those are both on there.
LaForge.
And
a Disney student.
Let me give you this one too, so you show them all. I've been curious about, because I did hear a performance a while back of Beethoven Fourth Concerto with Wilhelm Backhaus as an old guy playing it. And I was curious to hear some, because I've got a few things of his, not a lot. but he recorded the first complete Chopin etudes way back in the early 20th century. And it's remained a standard, you know. There's only certain pianists that record all of the etudes, if they're smart, because you got to be compared to like Bachhaus. Maurizio Puglini's is pretty famous. There's just a few sets of the etudes that are really famous. Now, what's his name just released? Yun Chun Lin, which I haven't heard yet, but you have it.
Yeah,
and they're pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, it's
so this is APR as well. This is Wilhelm Bachhaus, the complete acoustic, and selected early electric recordings as well. It's got 3 CDs, I think, in it.
Olga Samaroff and Frank LaForge. Yeah, apparently on this CD, Olga Samaroff is the headliner.
Yeah.
Oh, and this, Wilhelm Bachhaus. My goodness, look at this. Wow. That was when he was a young guy. Look at all that. Wow.
Another interesting thing about him, he had a long recording career.
Yeah, he did.
He started about that age, and then he continued to record almost up to the time of his death. And he was really old when he died. I think at least in his 80s or getting toward 90 or something. But there's a lot of interesting stuff in there.
The Paganini variations by Brahms.
Yeah.
I would never have connected the two. Wow. Wow.
I haven't been able to listen to all this shit, but I have, listened to a few things. I know the Olga Samaroff because I borrowed your recording.
Yeah.
And there's only limited stuff that she actually did.
Yeah.
So I think this is a repeat of the same stuff that you had on yours.
Well,
but it will be remastered by Ward Marston.
Oh, I'm sure it will be.
Yeah. But I did listen to some of the Rosenthal. So then, regarding Marston Records, I think it was you that introduced me. Because
we did.
As a present, was it a birthday present?
Yeah.
You gave me Wilhelm Kempf's complete acoustic recordings, right?
Early years.
The early years were, and it's a wonderful set. I love Kempf. He was about 8 to 10 years younger than Arthur Rubinstein. They both studied with Heinrich Barth. But Kempf, interestingly, back in those days, was really quite a willful, and one might say, doing my own thing kind of way. He dropped out of the school, at the conservatory, the Stern, I think it was the Stern Conservatory we were at. And Barth was one of the great teachers in Berlin at that time. B-A-R-T-H, Heinrich Barth. And he disappeared, and Barth didn't even know where he was. He had to play his final recital for the jury to get his paper and a diploma. And he just disappeared. Well, his father was a cantor, and they didn't look very hard for him, I guess, although the city's big. But he was playing organ at his dad's church, and he loved it. He really, I think he was a very spiritual man. And he loved playing Bach, and he loved playing the organ. And the amazing thing about him, he was gone almost the entire year. Then he came back about the week or two before he was supposed to play his jury. And he went with Bart, and where the hell have you been?
Yeah.
So, I'm ready on everything. And he sat down, he played. They gave him a standing ovation because he played so well. But the guy, I think maybe because of the organ, he had such that sense of length of sound that he sought to get out of the instrument, the piano. Yeah. His is not a percussive kind of piano style. It's not even like crisply articulated and rhythmic, or I don't know how to put it, but not like Schnabel.
No.
And I would say Brendel is a kind of a strong, rigorous, wonderful musician, but one might say a little bit more on the vertical side in this kind of way. Yeah, you know what I'm getting at. Beethoven, anyway, is often interpreted as a great heroic writer. So it needs big, powerful playing.
It's granite.
And I've got his Kemp's Beethoven Sonata recordings,
Mhm.
and Schubert and Schumann. I've
Yeah.
got a whole bunch of things by his. And then, as I said, yes, did I say that in the show? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yesterday, for a little while, I played some of his Bach transcriptions.
You did.
He has a wonderful sound, and I know he came over and he played in America a bit, but he didn't have a huge career nor a huge following, really.
Yeah.
And I think he's become more popular in America through his recordings.
Yes, he has.
And then my teacher, Howard Cart, my master's teacher, he went and did his Fulbright fellowship with Wilhelm Kempf in Switzerland. Studied with it. So I feel like I have a connection there with it. But anyway, Elmer introduced me to Marston, and then I immediately subscribed.
Absolutely.
Because it's pretty cool, like 3 or 4 times a year.
Yep.
They come up with a new release,
Yeah.
and then they send it out to you. They're not cheap. I mean, they charge a good, let's say one might say a competitive, but reasonable price per CD for their things, you know. But what comes out there every time, it's amazing.
And they sometimes send you a complimentary disc.
Oh, the first time when I joined, I didn't get one complimentary disc.
Oh.
It was like close to 20 of them.
Yeah.
They call them Lanyap.
Yeah.
Right? These recordings.
Yep, that's the
little
one.
plastic sleeves. So, in the last few years, and it's, it's probably typical of a lot of people's experience, my credit card number or bank card number was compromised.
Okay.
Maybe
That's
4
scary.
or 5 times in the last 4 years. And nothing ever got taken. I have a wonderful bank, Kemba, by the way, Kemba, and they have fabulous fraud and security control. And it's really nice because they called me up and said, we just wanted to, we've got to flag something because you made a purchase was made with your number at a computer supply shop or something like that, where you've never really bought stuff like that before, nor in that area. Did you do that? No. Well, it's good because we refused to honor the charge.
Oh,
and then they called me check to make sure, So they've been wonderful about it. So anyway, but every time that happened, I would fall behind with my membership with Marston. So just recently I called to talk to Scott Kelly, I think it is. And he got me hooked up. And they sent me their last one out, which is the Landmarks of Recorded Pianism. I haven't even known that yet.
This one.
It's got Simon Barrere.
Yeah.
The Jan Smetterlin Chopin Second Concerto. Adelina de Lara, who was a student of Clara Schumann.
Yeah.
And then these 2 British ladies that I don't know, but I'm curious about, Elsie Hall and Catherine Goodson. But this is the kind of thing that you get from. So I got that.
Yes.
And then they just released, that one was like the previous one, and so they sent it to me. And there's 2 other volumes that they put out called Landmarks of Pianism, like that. So then the recent one that you said you got 2 is Volume 3 of Raoul von Koszalski, who was a Polish pianist, who was supposedly regarded as a very... Oh, you got the same thing.
Yep.
So, well, I tell you what. Why don't you introduce that, and I won't say anything about it.
Oh, me?
When it's your turn.
Okay.
Okay. No, you can do it now.
Do it now?
Since we're talking about it, yeah.
Okay, well.
So tell them about these 2. Now, I listened to this guy, but I haven't listened to him yet.
Oh, gosh. Walter Rummel. I spoke to you about him months ago. I just found his name in David DeBall's literature book of piano repertoire composers and pianists. And I found his background quite remarkable. He studied with his father as a child, and by the time he was a teenager, he was introduced to Leczetitsky. And he studied with Leczetitsky for about 5 years, and then after that... Leczetitsky. I'm pretty sure it's Leczetitsky.
Go ahead.
But anyways, so after 5 years with Leczetitsky, he decided, we'll go concertize. And, well, of course, the rest of it is history, so to speak. But, anyways, so this disc has virtually his most important performances and recordings. The one that took it was Godofsky.
5 years with him.
Oh,
Because he was born in '87, and
Leshetitsky, 5 years Godofsky.
Leshetitsky was kind of old. Remember Rubinstein talked about when he played in the early days in Vienna, for example, and Leshetitsky would show up with his binoculars, washing his hands, his old, with the beard and everything.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. But go ahead. He's a fascinating guy.
Oh yeah, quite fascinating. But the real miracle happens in the Ave Maria track. Oh my gosh. That is the real miracle right there. The sound, the bells, the magisterial quality of when the sound gets bigger and more choral-like. It just doesn't get better than that, folks. And it's not, and in competition today, we're marvel at the marvelous technicians and the bravura, but this, folks, when will you ever find a performance or even a recording that has that rare quality that just pulls you in? And it is that recording I'm pointing to, the Ave Maria, that is just so unique in that sense.
It has that...
You've heard it.
That era of pianists with the magician qualities, and the special voicing things they do.
Yeah.
You can tell, he spent 5 years with Godofsky.
Yeah.
Must have really helped shape his ears,
Yeah.
And then he does something, several of the pieces to begin with on this recording are his own Bach transcriptions.
Yes, they are.
And he's like Kempf. Well, even going back to Franz Liszt. And of course, they thought,
Yeah.
we're pianists. Bach really, when it came down to his primary instrument, was organ.
Yeah.
And they really hear him as an organist when they hear the music. I've heard people play the Bach transcriptions for piano, Liszt, for example.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like an organ. It just sounds like a really ferocious piano performance.
Yeah.
But he reminds me, like Ervin Nerechatsi, the Hungarian pianist.
Yeah.
The way they search for this amazing sonority that you could get out of the instrument. If you know how to play it in the right way, to coax it in a way, you get profound sonorities, and he does that.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't like, he plays the B flat, major or minor, prelude.
The prelude and fugue at the beginning of the well-tempered clavier.
I like the way he plays the prelude, I think, but the fugue was very strange because da da ba dum, but the theme is da dum ba dee da 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 dum da da da, like that.
Yeah.
And he only does that at the very end when he brings in double. He uses chords and heavy pedal tones and stuff. I said, it's the strangest fugue thing. Now but on the other hand, he's playing it so that the voices are almost like a string quartet playing together, and you can hear the different things. But I was just taught to play fugue subjects differently. I just thought it was odd, but it was interesting. But I was just like, and I'm going. He's going da da. I heard the first time that he goes. I said, no. Laura was in there in the kitchen. And he goes, da da. And I go, da 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 da. She looks over and like, what are you doing? And she's not playing the fugue subject all the way through. But no, that's nothing to cut on the guy, because this man was a heck of a pianist and a very interesting musician. Yeah. And the did you show the photograph?
I did show cool?
Yeah. He's in Paris, out on a balcony.
Yeah.
In his house or apartment or whatever.
The Eiffel Tower in the back.
Isn't that lovely? Can you imagine having your instrument out there with the sounds of the street in Paris and everything down there?
It's wild. Yeah. He has quite an interesting story. Oh, folks, I was even glued to my I was even glued to this recording, just listening to him play Fur Elise for Pete's sakes.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he did to Fur Elise?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Now, interestingly enough, he was married to Isadora Duncan. Did you read that
Were
part?
they married?
He was married to Isadora Duncan.
Did you ever see that magnificent film that the British actress, she comes from that kind of...
Redgrave?
Redgrave, yeah, Vanessa Redgrave. It's available now just recently. I think maybe I bought it.
Okay.
But for the longest time, Vanessa Redgrave did this stunningly, overwhelming performance as Isadora Duncan.
Yeah.
It's a huge operatic movie about her and her life and everything. And I was stunned by it. I mean, I remembered it for years, decades.
Yeah.
And then I started, when things became available, I started looking it up. And nobody, for whatever reason, had released it. But only recently, there was some European pressing that they did, and I think I bought it.
Oh,
I have to look. But remember the bald-headed, kind of strange little pianist that she has an affair with in the movie?
I don't know.
Well, there's this guy. She first thinks he's a toad, but then suddenly, because of the way he's playing the music that she's dancing to, this is the way Isadora Duncan was. I never noticed how beautiful you are. And then she starts. Well, at the time, she was married to John. I think it was John Singer from the Sewing Machine Fortune.
Yeah.
And it's Jason Robards plays the character.
Really?
In the movie.
John Singer?
Yeah. And,
wow.
June Jr., I think. And he gets royally pissed. And Jason Robards is scary. But he was,
oh, yeah.
Whoa. But I just thought about this. I said, yeah, he was married for about 9 years, and then he hooked up with Isadora Duncan. They traveled together. He played, she danced. Mm-hmm. And it reminded me of that guy in the movie.
Oh.
That, she did it. And I wondered if that was a reference to him. But this guy looks much more attractive.
Oh, yeah.
He's
way more. Yeah.
But very interesting guy. His life, and he was European based, and he was born in Germany.
Yeah.
From Charlottenburg, which is where the palace is in eastern Berlin. And he ended up, he never became a Nazi, but he lived in Germany again during the war, and actually was promoted by them because of his artistry and everything. And then apparently, from the looks of it, was not considered by the Allies after the war as anything consequentially connected with him. Because, some people like Furtwängler and certain people.
Oh, yeah.
I think, I'm thinking of some conductors.
Yeah.
They were stifled for a while.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to work. But he, as far as I can see, he went and was recording in France the year following the war. So, but I mean, I don't know where you're going to find that recording unless you buy it. But you can't even buy these.
I don't think so.
Because I looked up the available piano things, and all they sell are these.
Yeah.
These things they call lanya.
Yeah.
And you could make inquiries, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But they give these away as extra things. And like I said, the exciting thing for me was when I joined, and it was the Robert Goldsand box.
Yeah, the box. Yeah.
Amazing piano.
Yes.
I think there was 18, 20 of these things. And maybe they did it as a welcome thing.
Yeah.
Because there's doodles of these things.
Yeah,
and I didn't pay for one of them. And there's tons of wonderful things. Yeah. Yeah. So the way their company works is pretty cool. They have some families which have left some legacies for them to use to continue to do the work that Ward Marston does.
Yeah. Yeah, he's amazing, this guy.
And they find the resources and stuff just incredible what they're digging up. It's like what we're doing, Well, we're trying to help them in a sense by being excited about the stuff and listening and commenting and sharing it.
Yeah.
But, it's a lot of Walter Rummel, at least in terms of history, deserves to be above the water as far as I'm concerned. But I'm sure his place is somewhere submerged on that iceberg that we talk about.
Yeah. His father, Franz Rummel, gave him his first lessons.
Yeah.
So, But,
you're going to talk about Kochalski?
Yes, Kochalski. Oh, sure. Yeah, so, okay, let me introduce you to Raoul von Kuchalski. Here's the box. Yeah, it came with something, 5 or 6 discs, I think?
I think it's 4.
4? Okay, 4 discs. Okay, interesting fella.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is interesting.
It is interesting.
I read the whole book.
You read the whole book?
The notes in here are written by a Polish musicologist.
Yeah.
Probably originally Polish, but they're translated to English.
Okay.
And it's really fascinating.
Yeah. Some of the opinions about his pianism is somewhat divided.
Rubinstein talks about him in my young years, and Arau in Conversations in the World also mentions him specifically.
Yeah, by name.
Yeah.
By name. But
he makes claims.
Yeah.
Now, he was a child prodigy.
Yeah.
His parents kind of spread him around.
He was an awarded pianist.
Yeah, and then the critics, on the other hand, thought he was not that fabulous.
Yeah.
But they had all these medals and awards and things, and they were then able to get more introductions and opportunities for him because of these things. This is pre-World War I.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the aristocrats were still going strong.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about him is that when he finally was able to strike out on his own, he got to be kind of serious about it.
Yeah.
But there was some kind of mythology Now, apparently he really did take maybe 4 years in the summer. Lessons with Carl McCooley, because by the time
that's what it said.
that he was able to as a kid, McCooley had retired. Because, he had studied with Chopin. And he therefore claimed to be, well, you know how pianists, I can say this. You can, almost everybody can say that if they trace their lineage back far enough, it goes to Beethoven. Right?
Exactly.
Because of Karl Czerny and Leschetizky. Czerny taught a lot of students, but Leschetizky taught a lot. He was like one of those people where anybody, if they could get in, they go and they take, a master class with a student of Leschetizky. People did the same thing with Franz Liszt. People do that right up to this very day, I took 3 lessons with Alfred Brendel. I represent his great tradition. Well.
And all they did was sit in a master class.
So this guy was supposedly a great representation of the true Chopin style.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now I'm speaking out of turn because I read a lot and I've heard things. I've never heard him play. You did.
I did.
So what did you think?
Okay, here's what I think. All right. I can appreciate it for what it is. Okay, you're talking about a pianist, a turn of the century pianist, 19th century. Okay, at times he can be really shocking. And okay, let's take for instance the chorale from the Chopin Fantasy in F minor. The chorale. It's a B major. Yeah. Yeah, and then at the end, it's got a diminished 7th chord, right? At the end, and then it goes boom, that scared the bejesus out of me. I'm sitting there in my car, and I could barely hear the ending to the chorale, and all of a sudden, boom,
very dramatic.
It was very dramatic, but I didn't think it was going to. I know I knew I was expecting chord, but I didn't expect to go boom. It was almost like a physical force is what it felt like.
Wow.
And then at the end, after the quiet cadenza, da 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 boom, boom. It just ends with a D flat minor chord. A flat minor or A flat major, 2 big chords, and yes, it's Mark fortissimo at the end. Yeah, but I didn't think it was going to come out so.
When you describe that, I think of that period of time where it was. I think depicting the emotional chaos or the frustration
Yeah.
of Chopin. You know, the whole idea about him being a patriot and a revolutionary. You know, and apparently there was a point when things had broken out and he'd already gone to Paris and he wanted to leave. Chopin, as a younger man, wanted to leave Paris and go back to Poland to join the forces and fight. And his father said, stay in Paris.
Yeah.
He said, there's nothing that you could really do here that would make a difference. And so fortunately he didn't. But, you know, it's interesting because Rubinstein is, in our time, considered the Chopin pianist.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of just inherited that mantle eventually. Well, he's Polish, so rightfully so.
Yeah.
And he plays it with a great deal of Rubinstein verve.
Yes.
And what's the
All
nobility?
blood and guts.
Very
Nobility, yeah.
But interestingly, when Rubinstein was a young man, the recognized Chopinist was Ignaz Friedman, who's become one of my absolute favorite pianists. And he captures more, I mean, also Polish and Jewish, but he captures the rhythmic nuances of, like, some people agree that probably nobody played the mazurkas better than Friedman does in terms of capturing that spirit of Chopin. Yeah. But, you know, Chopin allows, you know, for a certain amount of obvious flexibility and interpretation. Yeah. What I read about him, I wonder if this is what you found. I mean, what they said was that he has that kind of finesse of those old pianists, which we associate more with the French school, you know, which is just very...
Yeah, there's some of
like
that.
Chopin said about Kalkbrenner, which is that kind of playing.
Well, I would say it has more of a improvisatory character to it. Now, interestingly enough,
does it not make sense, or is it quixotic, or does it make sense?
It makes some sense, but I was going to say that he had more of a vocalist perspective as far as his playing goes. Simply because, you know, for instance, all right, there's a recording of the Fantasy Impromptu in here. Okay, the middle section, which is in D flat major, there's some extra notes in there that one would suspect an opera singer would have done. Okay, the trills, which are supposed to be just smaller trills, he'll actually linger and actually lengthen the trill longer, you know, just longer, and then cadence. Now, I also want to say that I don't know whether the liberties that he takes with the actual text and the music is a sign. Well, it probably was, because if he hears a voice in maybe like the baritone or the tenor part that's not in the score, he'll just put it in because that's what he hears.
Yeah, it's just
he adds notes. I mean, there's portions in it where you'll have a 2 to 5 chord progression, and he hears a cello in there somehow. And so if it's not in the score, he's just going to put it in.
You know, that was a tradition which came out of the earlier 19th century, where most of the time the pianists themselves were composers, right? Yeah. And in that book that I still not finished by the Scottish professor about 19th century performance practice techniques, I will get to it and finish it, and then we'll talk about it. You know, at some point we'll present it. Okay. But he mentions that improvisation. I mean, we know this about Beethoven. Yeah. I mean, one of the reasons that he was so famous was he was an incredible improviser. Yeah. And just and you know, all kinds of Beethoven stormy kind of things he could do with stuff. And that was an established tradition in the first half of the 19th century. There's one of the pianists that he talks about who actually was quite nervous about it, but it's because he kind of dug his own potential grave every time he did it. It was Felix Mendelssohn. Because Mendelssohn, it was expected that people would improvise on popular themes of the day, you know, tunes or opera operas, things like that. And you had to show your mettle by improvising. It's the only time that they expected you to play without notes. Because at that time, when you played Beethoven, which was not that much, but there were certain movements from sonatas and things, stuff like that, you're expected to perform with the music on the piano because it was disrespectful otherwise. This is somebody else's music. How dare you play it? You know, and maybe what if you made a mistake and didn't represent it? But Mendelssohn used to say that he got so scared because, of course, he loved to introduce counterpoint.
Yeah.
You know, he'd do some kind of Bach thing or something in his variation.
Yeah.
And he said, God forbid if I couldn't figure out how to continue.
Yeah.
But of course he probably did. But then you hear it, there was a change in the early 20th century. And fortunately, there's these recordings, we can hear this, where things began to change.
Yeah.
Rubinstein really, and he says about himself, even in my young years, I am a representative of what became a new school of playing.
Yeah, new standard.
And then you hear all these wonderful people like Rosenthal, like Benno Moisevich.
Yeah.
Not as much.
Yeah, not as
But Rosenthal, I was going to say, well, there's Friedman, the way he played. I don't think he necessarily added a lot.
I was going to say Rachmaninoff.
Emil von Sauer, for example, was studied with Liszt. But then, interestingly, there had been Anton Rubinstein, whose protege was Joseph Hoffmann, who I think, when you hear the recordings that he played, he's not adding anything.
Oh, no.
That's pretty straightforward. I mean, it's remarkably
once in a while,
play.
Once in a while, he'll lower a bass note down an octave.
Right.
I think it has something to do with the.
They think they're making it a little better because
climax of the phrase. So to make
and it creates a fullness too.
Yeah, he's interesting. Oh, and I also want to add about his playing. He'll often take certain parts of a phrase and he'll displace it from the meter. For instance, when he does, C sharp minor waltz by Chopin, we all know, da dum da dum, right? He'll go 1 da dum da dum. He'll actually put the rhythms on the beat rather than 1 da dum da dum 3, right? No, not him. He'll go 1 da dum da dum, then move on. Oh, one thing else about the fantasy impromptu. He has a tendency as well, and he does it consistently. He goes, the opening right hand comes in, he'll actually rush the last 4 notes. So it's, and it was down an octave lower. It almost sounds like the opening to the B flat minor scherzo. You know. And here he just puts it up there. So
I'm curious to listen to it because you know when Rubinstein's quoted Anarel.
Yeah. But they're children of their time.
It's just and I just think because things had shifted somehow.
Yeah.
But it for a period of time until frankly nowadays these old-fashioned 19th century pianists were really mocked or people made fun of them or like comments like Raoul said really horrible pianist. But like, for example, the one that thought he was a great Chopin person like Kochalski mentions it by name.
Yeah,
and Rubinstein actually does in my young years too.
Yeah,
but I looked it up, and
it's pretty bad.
They kind of scorned things. Now there were certain pianists that held tremendous respect, like Rosenthal, Benno Moisevich, and I would say Rachmaninoff. I mean, there were certain pianists Rubinstein crapped his pants practically when he realized he was playing the C minor piano concerto, and Rachmaninoff was sitting there.
You know what? I'll tell you what. I want to add this. Rubinstein did make comment about Rachmaninoff's Chopin playing.
Yeah,
he says that he doesn't agree with anything about his Chopin playing, but the conviction from which he played it actually made him, praise it. But even when he didn't agree with it.
I think that's good, because
yeah.
I think when you read about from Kochalski, and there might have been a certain amount of self-advertising about the whole Chopin connection and everything. But still, I've learned by listening to these. I spent a lot of time, and I think that's something that got me started on. I was interested anyway because I had recordings, but that time when I was in Indiana at the Mennonite College, I can't think of the name right now, but I put it up before on that thing. Billson was there with his forte piano, and the whole week was about performance practice.
Mm-hmm.
Billson brought his forte piano and played all the Mozart sonatas, and then talked about things during the week and stuff. And the other guy, who I've cited before I found his name and everything, he was at the time doing doctoral research work in California, but ended up being a professor somewhere back here in the East. And his research was on understanding 19th century performance practice based on recordings.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, what people had at one time said, oh, these guys, they just play off the cuff, whatever they feel, just kind of, if you had too many beans tonight, that just lets one rip while he's playing. And instead, this guy, and I think the subsequent feeling was, that's actually an old-fashioned early archaeological approach to interpreting the past.
Yeah,
we can only see it through our own glasses, our rose-colored glasses, which thinks we are the culmination of everything wonderful about humankind. And that they were just, working on stuff, struggling, trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
Well, everything's changed in terms of that now, and there's a much more respectful when it comes down to it. Giving even the benefit of the doubt, or just saying, I wonder what this really means, or how they used it, or how they understood it. So I'm curious to listen to him and see if there's not some, because when you talk about setting it, waltz was not native to Poland, but the mazurka was.
Oh.
And that feels mazurka-ish to me.
Yeah.
But it's in 3, and who knows why. But I'm looking forward to it. Now, I got some more, is it okay?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay, so then the next bunch, there's 3 of them here.
Oh,
I'll show you this one first.
All right.
We've talked about him before. Actually, I think when I looked at the incomplete show that we did back on, I think it's the 19th of June, which was the last one, where I've edited half of it. Lambert Orkis.
Oh,
we mentioned him.
And
because his pictures in the file. So I know him because of the wonderful violinist Anna Sophie Mutter, discovered as a child prodigy by von Karajan. Beautiful sound and a very interesting lady. And I think one of the great artists of the 20th, and she's still going.
Oh, yeah, she's still.
But for many years ago, I got her complete Beethoven sonatas. And then I thought, this name for the pianist reminded me of, what's-her-face, that crazy singer lady with her pianist was Cosmo McMoon.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. The one they did the movie on. Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
Oh,
her pianist's name given was Cosmo McMoon. So this guy's name, Beethoven pianist, was Anna Sophie Mutter and Lambert Orkis. Lambert? Wasn't that the name of one of the dolls that lady did on TV a long time ago?
Oh.
The lady that did the lamb.
Yeah.
But anyway, it turns out,
I
think he was at Trinity or somewhere like that, based around Philadelphia. Kugelfeld.
Sorry.
But I really liked the guy. And then I had discovered some recordings by Arlene Auger, A-U-G-E-R, a very interesting soprano-sounding voice, but accompanying her with forte piano and Schubert songs.
Mhm.
And I worked with a soprano who had sung at the Dallas Opera. And she knew Arlene Auger, and she said, "Oh, she's a wonderful singer, really great, and does the leader and things like that." And well, here again is Lambert Orkis, but now he's playing the forte piano.
Wow.
And over time, I've just come to know this guy. Just a remarkably versatile musician, and I think he's been lucky with well, maybe he's not lucky, he deserves, because of the quality of people that he's coordinated with, and worked with. But he's really stepped over the fence many times between modern piano and historic instruments. Well, I, in addition to the Beethoven, which I already have had for many years, I found this one.
And it is?
The Brahms Sonatas.
Oh!
Modern piano, but with
there you go.
With Anna Sophie Mutter.
Wow. And her favorite pianist.
And I looking forward to listening to that.
Yeah,
I really love her. And I love their Beethoven performances, really.
There you go.
Okay, and then this was one that I found because I was looking at Lambert Orkis recordings, and I have some other things of his which I've intentionally collected. This is a composer I love.
Ernest Bloch, yes!
Ernest Bloch. And I think I got to know him because the Priority Quartet in Madison with Howard recorded his quintet, and they played some string quartets of his, and I just really like the guy's music. So this is both the first and second piano quintets. The first one, which is written in 23, the pianist is Lambert Orkis.
Wow.
But then interestingly, the one that was written in 57, it's entirely different. Well, not entirely. The violinists are different in the two quintets. Viola and cello are the same, but Anne Shine is a pianist in the second.
Oh, let me see.
Yeah.
Anne Shine is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, my introduction to Ernest Bloch.
She was connected somehow with Leon Fleischer, wasn't she? Did she study
I think so.
Anne Shine, I know she's a great teacher in her own regard.
Yeah. Anyways, my introduction to Ernest Bloch was getting to play his piano obbligato to the Concerto Grosso.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was fun.
I bet.
Yeah.
I love his music.
Oh, it's wonderful.
He's not the same one I'm thinking of. Who's the composer for the cello piece called Shlomo?
Oh.
Jewish.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
It's not Ernst Bloch.
I don't think it's Ernest Bloch.
I'm sorry, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I know who you're talking. I know what that is. It's
because it was all the same time. I played Shlomo with the cellist, the orchestral reduction, and then I got to hear Bloch perform quite a bit. I have some actually LPs of Howard playing the quintet with him, and the Priority Quartet playing some Bloch string quartets.
Is it Joseph Suk?
No, not so, but yeah. Jeez.
And he's also well known.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about, but
I love his stuff. Yeah. Well, then this is the last one of the Lambert Orkis stuff, and this is really cool. They call it Beethoven, Past and Present.
Oh. Complete
Variations and Sonatas for Piano and Cello. And he plays them on real piano and forte pianos.
And who's the cellist?
David Hardy. I don't know, but look at that picture on the inside there.
Oh my!
It's a 4 CD set with everything that Beethoven wrote for cello and piano, and he accompanies with different instruments. And I think the cello is a Guadagnini, which is often a famous cello maker from the 18th century.
I'm going to assume that Lambert Orkis is the little guy.
Yeah, with the glasses thing.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, here, let me show it to them. Yeah. It's the front cover. See? And it opens to this. Get cello here. And the two fellows over here. There you go. Wonderful.
I've been taking a lot of time to go on these, but it's been
That's
fun.
all right.
So there's just two more, and it's chamber music. And I bought them both because they were excellent prices and historically really cool.
Mm-hmm.
The first is the complete Beethoven Sonatas for Piano and Violin,
By?
Joseph Szigeti and Claudio Arau.
No way!
Joseph Szigeti was a teacher of my dear friend Norman Powell,
Yeah.
who was the first violinist in the Variety Quartet, and then Arau. And I don't have a lot of Arau as a chamber player.
No, there's not a lot.
His concerti
Uh-huh.
and his solo stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But, I haven't had a chance to listen, but that's that. And then the other one,
Historical series from the Vanguard Classics.
that goes back a ways.
Yeah.
Szigeti was an incredible violinist. He was apparently very nervous. Norman used to tell me when he was a student at Szigeti's, he was there sometimes when he played with the orchestra. And he said the guy was almost physically ill before he
Oh, gosh.
But he'd go out and then just play like a god.
Yeah.
He was a Hungarian. He was, for a period of time, the 50s and the earlier 60s, he was like really hot, really popular. Then you know Lily Kraus?
Lily Kraus. And she's doing what?
Well, with Billy Gostkowski, the violinist.
No
I
way.
think was originally, wasn't he one of the founding members of the Budapest String Quartet? Was that Gostkowski?
I'm not sure. I don't think so.
And then Nikolaus Hübner, who I know the name because of
Is it Mozart?
but these are the Mozart trio.
Oh,
That they
jeez.
did in 1954
Oh, my.
in Vienna.
Oh.
And again, I haven't had a
boy.
chance to listen yet.
It's a beautiful cover.
But
It
yeah,
is released by Andromeda Records. Huh? By Andromeda. That's a cool name for a company. Andromeda.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's back.
so
Nice
those
cover.
are my newest acquisitions.
Wow.
And again, I mean, I know this repertoire in some cases, but I went for
Oh.
the interpreters.
Well, it's beautiful.
That's what I'm after now. And I actually have thought about this. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I've considered now that I'm released from my prison.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, really, the past 6 weeks felt a lot longer.
Oh.
I mean, day after day after day, and limitations, and I can only lay down in the bed still for a short period of time.
Uh-huh.
But I've been sleeping in either that chair or what I call my throne in the healing room for all this time. And that table now I've just started to set up to the right of me,
Mm-hmm.
so I can access things kind of
Yeah.
again. But I couldn't reach anything, so these and stuff were just piling up crazy. So I tend to wake up very early in the morning for 2 or 3 hours between 4 and 7 or 8 and work. I do things, keep it quiet because Laura's sleeping in bed. So I started to straighten things up, put things away, but I'm looking forward to becoming like a normal person again. One of the things I was thinking about, I think I might start paring through my library. Just getting rid of some things.
Okay.
Because I have some things where I probably wouldn't bother to listen to them again. And some of the stuff I've inherited, like when Tony died, Tony Gonzaga,
Yeah.
I got his wife gave me a bunch of things, and I incorporated some of that in my library. But there's just some things here and there I thought. And to be honest, then there's some things that I have. I just don't like the way they play.
Oh, God.
I don't like it. It's just like, man, why are you doing it like that?
Well, there you go. Why don't you
I
include?
might be.
You pull those out, but add a disclaimer note inside the thing.
Well, we don't poop on people on this show.
No, we won't do it.
But so you won't know what those things are. But there's just some stuff where I just think. So I don't know if you'd want to talk about, but I thought I could also take it over to half price.
Yes,
Get
absolutely.
a couple bucks for it or something.
So, folks, I have survived. I have returned from the latest book sale from the Upper Arlington Library.
Again.
Yes, and it didn't last long. It didn't. I mean, it's still going on, but I wasn't there for very long.
Was the two Sasquatch guys there?
No, the two Sasquatch guys were not there. Although I did
We've never mentioned their
we
names.
did ask. We did. I did ask.
They probably don't watch our show.
I did ask, and they are still around.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to some of these other people, they've been making their appearances up in Akron and Cleveland, farther up north. So, but however,
if you heard us in the past, you'll know what we're talking about.
oh yeah. So yeah, just go back to episode 4 or 5. You'll find out for sure what the encounters were like. So. This is. I did find some treasures there, and we've talked about this young man. He is an American hero. It is a book.
Whoa!
Oh, I did not know about this book.
You.
So here it is.
I know about the book, but
Howard Reich
I don't have that.
Van Cliburn, the All-American hero of the piano world. Here he is. I didn't get a chance to read it. I didn't get to peruse through it. But it's quite a book.
I know about this book.
You do?
Yeah, it has a good reputation. I don't know if it's the only, but it was a very important biography.
Yeah.
You started it? No.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I won't lose.
Okay, thanks. I have the one by Abram
93.
Chazins.
I remember this. This came out in 93. It was published. That's when I was doing my doctorate in Boulder. And he used to come to Boulder because he had some friends there.
Howard?
No,
Right.
Van Cliburn.
Oh, okay.
He used to come, but he was a total night owl, and he did the night scene stuff.
Oh.
So people, I saw him one time, but people were talking about, like, you got to be a serious night owl because he's out like after midnight doing the vampire thing, just going on. But some people said, at the university, they saw this huge tall guy with this hair.
Oh, it's almost done.
And actually, that's how I saw him one time. I told you, right? Didn't I?
I think so, yeah.
I was late at the College of Music, and they've expanded onto the building more since I was there. But there was like the entrance, and then there was a side entrance, and then the piano wing was down that way.
Yeah.
And then you came along the front, and the Dave Grusin Concert Hall was in the center. I think he was probably heading for the restrooms because there weren't any down in that part of the building. You had to go down through the main area. And there was like a gathering room for like after concerts and stuff. And then the voice went down that way. And then there was a lounge, but it was in that area where the bathrooms were. It's the only reason why I think he could be there, because otherwise he was probably practicing down in the piano corner.
Wow.
One of the professors, very likely Larry Graham's studio, possibly. I don't know why, but I have a feeling they knew each other, kind of. But I was leaving my little office that I had. We were assigned, I had a little one with an upright piano in it and stuff. Madison had really great spaces. We had 2 grand pianos, really nice, that I shared with another student. But this one was my own. I had my little space and stuff. And I'd work in there. And most of the time I practiced on the grand piano, but it was my space. And I was there late for some reason. Really late.
Yeah.
Like leaving around midnight. And I came out and it came from the practice rooms off the vocal quarter and went to go out because I would have been parked over across the street. And as I was coming to the central area, it was just really, I was a little surprised because it was late. And there weren't any students practicing that night. There was nobody there that late. Must have been after midnight. And this tall guy's coming down from the corridor back there where the offices were for the building. I assumed it was probably Larry because Larry was skinny and tall, but not that tall.
Yeah.
And as I kind of come out into the area where the Dave Grusin Hall was, and there was light, enough light and everything, I thought, that's Van Cliburn. And I was always respectful of celebrity. I got to a point where I didn't want to bug him,
Yeah.
And I just saw him, and he was walking forward. He saw me, and he had kind of smiled a little bit. And I said, "Hello, Mr. Cliburn." He said, "Hello," And he just kept walking.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he was like 6. I was like Howard was almost that tall, but he was skinnier. He was like really skinny and gangly. I I suppose he was practicing back in there.
Yeah.
Now, when I think about it now, I was thinking, damn it, I should have waited in the dark and waited for him to go back and follow me, and then go and listen to him through the door.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I went home. I was exhausted. But yeah, I saw him once, but then people were talking about how he'd be going to, he'd hang out at, there was a guy that performed, he'd been Tony Bennett's pianist for like 25 years.
Tony Bennett.
Not Tony Bennett, but his pianist.
Yeah.
He retired to Boulder. He had a house up in the hills a little bit. And he used to come down. It was never announced, but there was a particular club, bar, brewery place kind of thing he especially liked, and it was the right kind of space and everything. And he just called him up and said, I think, no, it's okay, I'll come in and I'm going to do some playing tonight. And he'd show up playing. No, I never heard him, but I heard about him.
Okay.
And it was never advertised, so you had to be kind of in the loop to know.
Yeah.
But apparently that's one of the places where Van Claver used to go. I'm like, yeah, hear the guy play.
Wow.
You just go and listen to him perform, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Kind of thing. So
bad.
Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, the next one.
Great book. Good for you.
Yes. So this one is interesting. It's a DVD.
Ooh.
Susanna. Music is Life.
Is that the Bach lady?
Yeah, it is the Bach lady.
I know about her.
Yeah.
There's a set of complete Bach that she recorded.
Ruchichkova.
Which is most of the time not available. I have it on my wish list.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for it to become available. Well, one time it was available.
Yeah.
They wanted $600.
$600.
No, I don't think so.
Wow. That's we'll be digging in our pockets for
she's
years.
A Polish pianist.
This says she's Czech.
Oh, she's Czech. Oh, okay.
She's Czech, and apparently this movie was actually seen by Dave Hurwitz, our buddy, on Ultimate Classical Recording Review.
Yeah.
So, and he says the stuff that she had to endure is just unthinkable. She survived the Holocaust.
She's Jewish.
But after the Nazis were gone, she had to deal with communists. And, they pretty much put their heels down as far as developing her career.
Yeah.
It's called Susanna, Music is Life. It's a DVD. It's only 83 minutes long. So according to our buddy Dave Hurwitz, she does have a biography, a book out. So you can find out even the more horrifying details concerning who she had to deal with.
She had died of cancer, heart stuff, because she was a serious chain smoker.
Yeah, that's what they said. She also had she knew she was in the same room as Dr. Megala.
Oh yeah.
And
really?
Oh yeah, and she suffered apparently a great deal concerning that. In this intensely personal encounter, the legendary Czech harpsichordist Zuzana Ruchichkova
was a piano. She did play the harpsichord.
Yeah. Describes how she navigated the brutality of 20th century Europe while forming her unique and transcendental interpretation of J.S. Bach. Quote unquote. I thought this must be some kind of a joke, what she says, of communists replacing Nazis after the war. Again, quoting, I was so wrapped up in my music I didn't care about politics, which was a great mistake, of course.
Yeah.
Surviving the Holocaust as a teenager, Ruchichkova was persecuted as a Jew and as an artist during 40 years of communist rule in Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
When she won the Munich music competition in 1956, she became known as the Jew who brought Bach back to Germany. Refusing to join the Communist Party, Susanna lived under constant surveillance. Yet, she won the highest accolades, performing in over 100 concerts around the world. Twice, this is voted twice, the best documentary. This inspirational film is hailed as a cautionary tale against the rise of authoritarianism in the world today. Zuzana Ruchichkova is the only person ever to record the complete keyboard works of Bach, re-released by Warner Music on a 20 CD box set in 2006. I thought Gustav Leonard also recorded the complete works of Bach, didn't he?
Gustav Leonard? Yeah.
Yeah, was that later?
Leonhard was contemporary to this lady, actually.
Well, did she beat him by like a year or a month?
Well, I mean, Leonhard especially was 50s, 60s, probably into the 70s.
Okay.
But he was Dutch.
Re-released by Warner Music on the 20 CD box set in 2016. So it would be $600. If it's only been it hasn't been over 10 years yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Lovely box.
What's her last name?
Ruchichkova.
I spelled
Ruzickova.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Music is like great.
Yeah.
There's some things in here about it. Ooh.
What?
Nope.
No what?
I was looking to see if they got the whole thing on YouTube.
No. No, they're not going to have the whole thing on YouTube.
No. I'd like to watch it sometime.
Well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have one more thing to show.
They do have stuff.
And this one I had to wrap carefully. We've talked about this before a few times.
Fragile, huh?
Well, yeah, fragile. And, well, before I show you the whole thing, I found this in the book.
Look at that.
Yeah, I know.
The 3 nocturnes, fantasy, 3 etudes, Verser's Tarantelle, Skinner, Polonaise, Waltz, and the Scherzo. That is so cool. That's really cool. You want to show them that?
Yeah,
that's really cool. Earl Wild was special piano professor at OSU for several years. Artist in residence. That was a coup. Get him here. And you know, at the time when I went to study, I think it's when I went to Madison to study with Howard.
Yeah, you had a choice.
I had
they wouldn't reveal
places. I could have gone to see or with Theodore Leffen in Ann Arbor.
Yep.
Or Howard in Madison. And then this unspoken new artist that was coming into Columbus. And they said, well, we can't tell you who it is because we haven't worked out the details, but it's a pretty big guy. And I ended up going to study with Howard because they gave me really good graduate assistantship. And, you know, good. Michigan didn't offer as much money. Mm-hmm. So, but I did take lessons with Theodore Leffen for a while. He was amazing. But I'm really glad I studied with Howard and they got to know the faculty at Madison because the Parati was there. Mm-hmm. It was a very strong German and Russian Slavic school kind of mix of things going on there. But then it turns out it was Earl Wild in Columbus. And so I had a colleague, Michael, I'll put his name up on the screen. I can't think of his last name. Okay. But he was studying with Howard for a while. Not really happily. I don't think they worked together so well. And then he ended up going to OSU and studying with Earl Wild, who he'd known before somehow. And then when he realized it was Wild, it was Columbus, he went and studied there.
Wow.
He's I forget where he's located now, but he's a professor. He was out at Grand Junction for a while, Colorado. Now he's back here in the East somewhere. And I saw some recordings of his. He has a partner where he does 2 piano and 4 stuff. Can't think of his name. But go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. This was the find of that expedition.
Whoa.
Okay, we talked about this before. We've always been curious about it. We understand what happened in the French school. We've understood what happened in the Russian school. But we were always curious what was going on in the Hungarian school. Because so many wonderful musicians came out of there, and I found this.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, I took.
They just get rid of the most amazing things.
I know. Look at this book.
So it's just because nobody borrowed it or cares, or they got more than one copy.
Well, the funny thing is, I didn't even find this in the music section. I found this in the reference instructional section.
Interesting.
So
That
sometimes it gets
sense.
misplaced. So, but here it is. Take a look at it. And this book is almost like, I don't know. It has certain approaches, kind of reminding me of Leschetizky's book, because there's so many pictures in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. In particular, let me see if I can find it in here. There's several pictures, well, like that. See, let me show you what I mean.
And positions.
Look at all those pictures right there. Yeah, and there's more. There's one here. Wow, look at that. All these pictures.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for the one in particular. There's one picture. There she is. Several pictures of Annie Fisher.
Really?
This is Annie Fisher.
Playing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Check it out.
Yeah, despite the name, she was Hungarian, wasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there were Germans that were in Hungary earlier on at the time, but that's where the name comes from. It's not a Hungarian name.
Yeah. You want to see the real kicker? Check this out. There's even a ribbon
Ooh, for marking the book.
marker
Nice.
right here.
Wow.
Look at that. So, you want to look?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's by author Joseph Gatt. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce the name. This is a second edition book. I think the original was published earlier in the 60s. This was like maybe after 4 or 5 years, I think. I'm not sure.
These pictures are of Thomas Bashari.
Thomas Bashari's hands?
Yes.
Wow. So, but in it, apparently he describes piano playing by many
Good God.
current pianists of the time of its publication. So he's talking about, Thomas Bashari, Annie Fisher. He talks about their playing and their approaches and this and that. There's even X-rays of the arm and hand and the shoulders in this book.
This is a seriously
detailed book.
Can I read just a little bit?
Sure.
For example, I just opened the page. Slow practicing of rotation, right, is carried out in octave or sixth position. The work is done entirely by the forearm. The upper arm has a synthesizing function, but does not provide any weight effect. However, it should not be passive, but hold itself in readiness for its synthesizing task. The finger ends must be kept very taut in order to prevent them from changing their mutual position either during the rotation or after the stroke. The axis of the plane rotatory motion lies approximately between the second and third fingers on the basis of a straight line drawn from the elbow. In slow practicing, the rotation should be carried out around this axis. I mean, that's the kind of thing that's here. This is some seriously researched stuff.
This is like Tobias Mate on steroids. Have you read Tobias Mate?
Yes. Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah. My God, this book. I'm going to look it up because this is...
Isn't it amazing?
This is a complete... There's Lily Kraus. There's all kinds of people in here.
Mm-hmm.
He's Thomas Bashari. He's got some Richter.
Yeah.
Henri Litolff. There's Mazzoni, Raffaninoff. That's the history. There's Rubinstein, Angelo.
Yeah.
This is like everything about the piano.
Yeah,
What an amazing book.
There's even a section in there concerning the mechanics of how the hammer works.
Yeah, I saw that. So this is written by Josef Gatz, a professor at the High School of Music in Budapest. Wow, that's a heck of a thing. Wow, good for you.
Yeah. Now, can you blame me for wrapping it up in this?
This is like one of the Bible things.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You got some real treasures coming out of that library.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, and it's some of the strangest spots too. This is not to criticize my buddies over at the library, okay? But, and I guess in a way, this is sort of like instructional.
What's the book title one more time?
It's called The Technique of Piano Playing.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So that's what I found.
You got yourself some.
I started reading it,
Yeah.
and I found myself having to read the same paragraph like
Yeah.
4 times to really understand what was going on.
Yeah.
It's one of those type of books. Tobias Mattei is exactly the same way. You either get it or you don't get it, but if you go analyze each paragraph, with detail, you'll eventually get it. So, but anyways, folks, it's been an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So
That was a good.
Oh,
That was fun today.
Oh, that was great. We had some quite discussions.
It's like
And we had some
both
good
of us
laughs.
had Christmas and we brought our presents together.
I know we did.
Sure.
This is great. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed our program today. We'd love to include more of you out there. If you please comment, like, subscribe, tell us, who you've been talking to. Talk to your friends, family, neighbors, fellow employees, if you want. I know some of my friends out there have been watching. I know at least a couple of my students who have been watching. So,
Well, I'm sorry. We'll get some more shows up relatively soon. I can work at the computer now
okay,
and
good.
run the mouse and type things. So, getting to that.
So, if you enjoyed our program today, please come back. Find out what we've been playing, what we've been listening to, what have you been reading, what have you been finding, what are you discovering, and all that good stuff. So, anyways,
I'm Mark.
I'm Elmer,
This is Elmer.
and
We are Mark and Elmer's PSI Piano Scene Investigations. See you, folks. Say
come back again.
Bye, dear.
Oh.